Hello, active and attractive ladies. How are you guys feeling today? So thrilled to be here with you live, and as always, dive further into the conversation around world building. Ooh la la. How are you guys feeling today? I love just the space that we've been creating over the last few months, as well as the way that you guys have been sharing what it is that you are working on in your world. So if you are new to this conversation, please say hello. Let us know that you are new, that you're not sure what's going on, and that you're curious about what we're doing. If you've been paying attention for a while now and you've been showing up every Thursday, I want to welcome you back because we've got another layer to the very intricate puzzle that is building your world. Ladies, if you've been following, world building has been a concept that I have had in my heart for maybe about 3 years. I think it was during COVID where it came through. And the conversation is big because where it derived from was I was coaching my current clients. I'm fitness coaching and helping support people with their physiques, with their body, losing weight, getting stronger. And what I saw was that there were a lot of people who knew how to work out. They knew what to do. And if they didn't, they would come, they would hire me, they would ask me to help them on their journey. And I would give them plans, I would give them instructions, I would give them direction and hold them accountable to their actions. And what I very clearly noticed is that there were a group of clients that were very quick to see results. They stuck to the plan. And even if they didn't see results in their own time, they still stuck to the agenda. They didn't fall away. They didn't freak out. They didn't spook. They said, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I want to keep going because I know that this is what I'm meant to do. Those clients were the easiest clients in the sense that they were easy because they were determined. They were willing to go through the finish line and do things no matter what the results looked like. And eventually, and ultimately, they got to their results. Now, the other set of clients that I had were ones who still had fantastic personalities. We always had a great time together, but there seemed to be a stickiness with their ability to stay close to the agreement of what we said or what they said that they were going to do. Oh my gosh, is that Gloria? Is that Gloria? Let me know, girl. I don't know if I can see comments right now, so I'm going to check my Facebook, but hi. So there was a very distinct clientele that was not, yes, I knew it, and good. I'm glad the comments are working too. Gloria, tell me if you relate to this. There are two different types of clients I would have. There were the clients that were able to get to their results. They were able to go after what it is that they said they were going to do, even if the results weren't there as quickly as they wanted to. And what I experienced was there was a second set of clients who, no matter what we agreed on, no matter what mindset work we did, no matter what it was that they, how they had to talk themselves into feeling or finding motivation, they would eventually fall off. These clients had some patterns. And we would always talk about it, but they would either kind of start hiding back. They would start making excuses. Some of them wouldn't show up for sessions. They would start sleeping in. They would say, well, I was doing good until Wednesday, and then something came up and I started eating this way. And I was like, okay, this would be my experience as a therapist. So exactly, there's the clients who do the action no matter what the result. And then there's the other clients who try and they want and they believe and they're hoping to be able to do the action to get the result, but they can't make the commitment to the action. It's the doing that gets them. I remember where I was when I received the message of world building because I was walking around my neighborhood and I had to ask. I was just like, okay, what's the difference? What's the difference between, I thought of all of my clients, I sorted them out, put them on one side of the page and then the other side of the page. And I was like, what is the difference between these two people? And what I realized was that the people who were really taking action, who were really moving, who were really making ripples, even though they couldn't see them, these clients had a strong sense of identity. The clients who were independent of their results, The clients who chose to sit in the seat, to get the coaching, to take the action, to follow the game plan. The people who were just undeterred by whatever happened around them. These clients had a very strong sense of self. The other set of clients, their heart was amazing. Their heart was in their right place. Their intention was felt. Their vision was clear. But when I really sat down and allowed myself to just say, these clients don't feel nestled in the identity of who I see them as to who their family sees them as who they want to be. This was the main difference. This, for me as a coach, was the beginning of the unraveling and realizing that it does not matter what it is that we want. If we can visualize what we want, this is the first step. But the process of bringing what we see in our mind down onto this earth for us to be able to see, for us to be able to touch, for us to be able to taste and feel and experience, the things that we see in our mind are different than what it takes to bring it out onto the earth. And my clients who had a strong sense of self were the clients who didn't have a problem doing what it takes to take what's up here and bring it down here. If you are a dreamer, you're in the right place, my friend. If you have a big, exciting vision for yourself, you are in the right place, because this is the first pillar of becoming a leader. But the leaders that cross the finish line, the leaders who get what it is that they want, the leaders who help the people in the way that they want, the people who get the body that they want, who find the relationship that they want, that figure out the parenting style that they want, that have the friends that they want, that get the business opportunities that they want, the people who go despite the outcome, despite the obstacles, those people are not deterred because they know themselves. It's the only difference. Gloria says, so true. Our actions really influence who we are. They are. And Gloria, what I want to bring up today is that the way we make this easy for ourselves is that when we know who we are, the actions become easy. But what most of us are doing is we're waiting for someone else to tell us, who am I? Are you my mother? Where do I go? What do I do? What do you see in me? These are all beginner questions. We have to ask these questions to begin to sort the process of figuring out who we are. However, if we're in the early stages, the only thing we need to shed is the expectation that our follow-through will be high. Now, as you acquire more of your identity, what you'll find is that you will develop confidence. And what is confidence? Confidence is our ability to trust that our knowledge of self will be replicated out into our actions. The way that you know that you are, when you know that you're going to say things the way that you really want to say them, that honor the integrity that's built within you, that's when you start to feel confidence. But the truth is we're only confident when we're children, if we're lucky. There's always an event in our life that takes our confidence away with our gifts. When we don't know who we are, we forget who we are, we're told that we're not who we are, where all of these events that occur in our past, we lose sight of what's real for us. And we start comparing and looking at other people and picking other people out to try to represent what it is that we want to be. But we leave all of the power in their hands, and we forget that we have that same gift within us. When you know who you are, your actions and your words will follow. And when you see yourself as a leader, ladies, when you see yourself as a leader, you know that your number one responsibility is not fully what you do and what you say, but it's to become aware of your essence so that you never get confused about who you are. The healthiest thing you will ever do is to focus on your identity. It's the healthiest thing you're going to do. And ladies, I'm here today to talk to you about what we opened up the conversation on last week with the 3 pillars of leadership. First pillar being presence. Every room you step into, you're valuable. Everywhere you plant your feet, you're valuable. Every word that you speak, you're valuable. You're so valuable being exactly who you are. But when you don't know who you are, that is the worst thing that someone could recommend. Just know who you are. The truth is that when you don't know your identity, you don't know what your blueprint is. You don't know how to talk. You don't know how to speak. You don't know how to move. And the problem with this is that we end up trying to outsource our essence from other people. And then we get tired. We don't take action. We stop. We get confused. We get over fatigued. Georgette made it. How's it going? Hola, ¿cómo está? We end up losing who we are, Georgette. We lose who we are. When we lose who we are, it is very hard to take action. Now, in light of what we've talked about in leadership, in order for you to build your world, you have to take action. Actions build worlds. Actions build worlds. You can build your world and the world around you when you take action. It's the only way it's going to happen. But it first starts with vision. Santanja made it. Hello, my friend. Oh my God, it's a party. It's the only way we can make this happen, ladies, is when you move. So when I look back on my clientele who was able to get the body they wanted, eventually, it didn't matter the timeline. Those people knew in their identity that the body they were looking for was it. That was what they wanted. Now, these same people, men and women both, they had business goals, they had relationship goals, they had visions for their household, how they wanted to live their lives, they wanted to travel, they wanted to go buy new things, they wanted to expand what it is that they currently had, they wanted more, they saw it, and typically, they had the ability to go out and make it happen. It was in their body that they were exploring something new. Now, my clients with the identity, with a sense of identity, had the confidence that was greater than their result. This is what I want for you. This is what I want for you. Because when you know who you are, you can tell me, who are you? I can't shake you. Now, the only way I can break you is if you look to me and you say, Sammy, who am I? Because I can tell you anything I want. And when I tell you what I think, whether it's right, and definitely if it's wrong, if you don't have this knowledge within you, if I can sell you into your identity, someone else can sell you out of it. You have to believe the power of you. You have to know it. You have to put words on it. You have to put pictures on it. You have to put textures and flavors on it. You have to know you in a way that is unshakable. And in the health coaching clients world, it doesn't matter if you're still sore, you work out the next day. And it doesn't matter if you lost 2 pounds instead of the 5 that you wanted, you keep on eating clean. Whatever action you committed to yourself and you show up anyways, despite the circumstance, this is where you build confidence. But each and every single one of you, Georgette, Santanja, Gloria, each of you have a different style in how you're going to lead yourself to your next goal. You have a different style. So if you come to me and I tell you, I'm going to give you the science, and I'm going to give you some structure, but what we would want is to create a space for you to discover your relationship with fitness, your relationship with food, your relationship with business building, your relationship with relationships. We've got to figure out your style, and the style must be predicated from your identity. But if you don't know your identity, we can't help you. So what this opens up the question for is, we want to stop trying to scrap for the action so fast. Like, let's just slow down. I know you're ambitious, I know you're hungry, and you are a go-getter, right? But if there's something you're pursuing in your life right now that's not quite working, if it's not, it's like you're not getting there yet. What we want to do is we want to ask, are you doing this in a way that's healthy for you? Lisa, hey. Are you doing this in a way that's healthy for you? Georgette, I don't know your favorite style of working out, but if I told you to run 26 miles in order to get the body of your dreams, would you love it? Yes or no? Gloria, if I told you do 100 squats right now, would you love it? Do you feel called to it? Does it feel in alignment with you? She didn't say no or nah. She said nope. If I asked Tanya to say, hey, you know what? I know that there are other ways to like lose weight, but let's just cut you off entirely. Let's put you on a full plant diet. Could you do that today? Does that feel in alignment today? If the answer is no, you could do it anyways, but you will not feel healthy while you're doing it. Santanja says, yes, see? Everyone's different. I could give all of you guys the exact same meal plan, but if it feels too hard, too much, too gross, too unlikely, too whatever for you, there's another answer for you to achieve a better sense of health. Now, identity is who you are. Health is your way of going about who you are. It's your way of showing up for who you are. Are you aligned to taking action on who you are? There are healthy actions that you could take, like eating an apple, that are unhealthy for you. You could run the 26 miles, Georgette could do it, but if she was doing it in the feeling of nope, she could do it, but it would most likely break her down instead of building her up into who she believes she is. We want to be aware of our identity because when you know who you are, you will be amazed at where your motivation comes from. But what I see is so many women, so many of us are committed to things that we want, that we know could get us there to where we're going, but the pathway isn't quite in alignment. It's not quite in alignment. Maybe part of the plan is in alignment, the other part's not. But how bold are you to only take part of someone's plan? How bold are you to try something to see what you like, take out what you like, leave what you don't, make it your own? The only way we could do that is by knowing you. We've got to know you. And so with my clients who really didn't have a strong sense of identity, that was most of our coaching. It wasn't so much, did you run your miles? My clients who had a strong sense of identity, we didn't need to talk about that. They already knew how to solve their internal problems. And if they really had something big, we'd still talk about that because it's an ongoing thing to discover our identity. But I want to ask you, ladies, in your phases, what phase do you think you're in? How well do you think you know yourself? I want to hear if I were to ask you, and ladies, there's no wrong answers here. I want to kind of hear what's going on in your body. Hello, Joanne. I want to hear what's going on in your bodies. Would you say vulnerably, do you know yourself? Do you not know yourself? I will share first, as you guys are commenting, a good majority of my life, I didn't know myself. A good majority of my life, I did not know myself. When I say know myself, I didn't know myself the way I knew other people. I didn't know myself the way I knew other people. Lisa, I could tell you everything about you. Gloria, I could tell a lot about you. Georgette, I can feel a lot of things on you. I'm sure if you guys relate to being an empath, you could probably see in other people things that they don't see about themselves. The way you know what I'm talking about is when there's someone you love that you see them like crystal clear about how amazing they are. And it's like, they don't see it. It's like, hello, don't you know how great you are? That's been most of my experience in my life. Now, the powerful thing about knowing yourself is there's more than one aspect of ourselves. So you may feel like in one area of your life, one characteristic about yourself, you know that you know this and you love it, and it's your thing, and it's the way you act, and it's your morale, and it's your value system, and there's these things that are very much you. I can say that I was always confident in my morale. I question on if it was right or not, if it was cool or not. But I could always rely that I will always be truthful. I will always listen. I will always care about people. I will always try to be amicable and communicative. And that stuff has always been there. But when it would come to more confident things, people ask me, what's your style? What do you like to do? I could tell Georgette. I could tell Lisa what she likes. I could tell Santanja what she likes, but I did not know. There are different facets to knowing ourselves. So what we end up coming into is this feeling of life presents itself and we don't know how to take it because we can't choose what to do because all the things we've done in the past have felt so painful that the only reason they felt painful is because we did something else that someone else was meant to do. Gloria says, or Georgette says, I'm pretty confident in who I am, but constantly discovering. Exactly. A baby relearning. Exactly. Gloria says, yes, I'm exploring and embracing aspects of myself in a way that fosters self-appreciation and compassion. So here's the other thing. You guys might have a strong identity for others. That's how I have to frame it in my mind to be comfortable and glad about the past that I've lived, is because the identity piece that's very true for me is that I'm very others focused. My problem in the past is I was so others focused that my world was off balance. So I was so aware of other people and their worlds and what their world contained and what their world needed and what they had. But I could never balance that strength out with the other part that is true about me, which is I do care about myself. I do have compassion. I do have appreciation for me. I do love myself. I do know what I want. Like Georgette saying, I'm confident. I'm constantly discovering. I know I can mess up and it's okay. Like there's this part of inner self, my inner self version, and then there's the version of me that's still an inner definition, but it's focused on the outside. Some of you might be like, I just don't care about other people. That literally might be a huge chunk of your identity. Some of you might be, I am so other focused, I don't really need a lot. That might be very true for you. Some of you are going to be loud, talkative, powerful pushers in rooms. Some of you are going to be intentional, delicate. Everyone is different, but the conviction we're looking for is, do you know? Now, why is this valuable? Why is this important? Last week we talked about presence. Everywhere you stand is valuable. Every room that you walk into, your presence is felt. Each of you guys here, I can feel you being here. And I've interacted with everybody in some personal context before. However, there are things you've never told me that I can tell about you. There are things that you just carry that you've never said to me. And I guarantee you, each of you guys, if you guys had even the briefest interaction, you could tell that Georgette seems like she'd be able to. Santanja seems like she's capable of. Gloria feels like she might be. That feeling you have about people, it's like, I feel like this person feels safe. This person feels like she'll listen. This person feels like she'll understand. This person feels like she'll go the extra mile. This person feels protective. This person feels strong. This person feels, you guys know what I'm talking about? When I say presence and you walk around into rooms with a presence, your presence speaks for you before you ever open your mouth. What we want is that your presence represents you. If in your identity, your true identity, your untraumatized, unaffected essence, your true identity, if your true identity was represented in your presence before you ever opened your mouth, most of your work will be done. Now, ladies, we're talking together because what we're looking for is effortless, effective, healthy, feminine leadership. I know that you ladies want to change the world. Before we change the world, our goal right now is to make sure that you and your world are so set up that you are supported beyond belief, so that no matter what you encounter as you try to build into the world, you know that your world is tended to, you're cared for. You've got relationships, a home, a body that feels energetic. You've got infrastructure in your business, you are set. And part of creating a posture in your identity or in your presence that represents your identity comes from having those levels of support. The way we're taking this deeper is that last week we talked about your presence is a combination of both your identity and your health. Today we're focusing on identity. Next week we'll talk about health. But ladies, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and I would love to hear what you say. And my discovery from the time I asked myself, what is the difference between these 2 sets of clients? What came to me was the ones who are doing this, no matter what, have a strong sense of identity. The next question I asked was, what even is an identity? The 3 components that make up someone's identity, according to what I've learned and understood, is that someone who knows who they are, what they stand for, and where they're going. These are the 3 pieces that when you can answer those questions, you will be unshakable. Who are you? What do you stand for? And where is it that you're going? Now, ladies, if you stay with me here, I would love to walk with you very briefly through these questions. We're going to dive in much further with these 3 questions later. There are 2 parts of identity. It's these 3 questions. And then at the end of this month, ladies, we're going to build your world, okay? I've got so much to say about building your world. This is it's a very creative exercise. We're going to spend 3 days doing a masterclass called the 3 Days of World Building. We will literally build the most fun, flavorful, exciting, playful aspect of your world that you can walk around with, literally as if your world was a circle just around you and you're like, this is me. Some of you guys might have a regal world. Some of you guys might have a playful world full of cupcakes and all kinds of fun sprinkles. Some of you guys might have a world full of fire. There's so many ways to get a picture of the inside of who you are. But the foundation is, so that you are always moving forward, is, can you answer? Who are you? What do you stand for? And where you're going? Okay. So, right now, the question of who are you is a very vague question, and it's defined in many ways. I'm going to give you my definition. When I ask who are you, what I'm looking for is the plainest, of plainest answers. This is going to sound silly, but I would love for you guys to just engage with me here. I want you to feel how simple finding yourself, finding your identity really gets to be. Saying who am I is, I am Samantha Nicole Bell. I was born on July 2nd, 1989. I have a dog. I've been married for 3 years, almost 4. I have dark skin. I have dark brown hair. I live in Dallas, Texas. I was born to Nancy Springer and Kenrick Williams. I have a stepdad who's been my major father figure my entire life. I have a white vehicle. It's an SUV. I went to Texas A&M University. I had many friends there. I stayed there for about 7 years. I got my master's degree. I really love the color blue, but I always tell people my favorite color is orange. I have a best friend from high school, but I also have many best friends now in my adult life. I have been working on my online business for a very long time. I'm just now getting traction and I'm finally having fun with it. I grew up really shy, and it's a really big deal that I'm consistently here right now. And my niece just had a baby a few weeks ago, and it's a really big deal for our family. And I am currently working as a business consultant with really high profile businesses. This is very new and it's been scary and wild and fun for me. I was born in Lubbock, Texas, and I was born to 2 Caribbean parents, and it's such an absurd combination, but they met in Lubbock, Texas. I've used to teach yoga and group exercise instructing, and then I went and worked at Equinox for 5 years and met a lot of fantastic, well-off people, and they taught me everything that I know. And I used to train really incredible people, and they gave me the confidence to be here today. Who am I? I am a collection of everything I've seen. I'm a collection of everything that I've experienced. I'm a collection of everything that has hurt me. I am a collection of everything that I've overcome. I'm a collection of my wants. I want to live in Dallas. I want to stay in Dallas. I surprisingly love Dallas. I want to get another dog. I want to eventually have a child. I want to go travel overseas next year. I want to do all these things. We are a collection of our experiences, our desires, our wants, our needs, our values. I value intimacy. I value honesty and transparency. I love the feeling of people's light bulbs going off in their head. I just love to see people win. I love when I get to slow down in my life and actually taste my food. You know what I mean? I love that feeling. And it doesn't happen as often as I'd prefer. I love when I'm in a really busy work season and it's I'm all action, and it's just I love that feeling. I love, I don't care for coffee, but I still drink it anyways. And I love the way it makes me feel. I want, I like, I value, I. You love that well. Oh, Brandy's here. Oh my God. I love when Brandy is here. I love when you ladies listen to me. I love when we can connect like this. I love the concept of world building. I feel nervous whenever I share it. I am still exploring myself. I'm constantly growing. I'm addicted to growth and development. Those are only bits of who I am. Each of you Each of you, each of you, each of you. Oh my God, each of you, I could just cry. This is the most beautiful part about the human, is who you are. Every bit of it. All the wins, all the losses, all of it. And here's the reason why we lose our motivation, why we are afraid to step into leadership. So we can't even claim what we've seen. We can't own it. We're scared of it. We don't want to admit it. We don't like it. We're not sure about it. I could go through the same list and tell you all the mistakes I've made. But when I can say it, which is with as much simplicity as how I've shared what I've seen and what I've done, this is me owning my identity. I. Yashawn, hello. Ladies, the I am, I've seen, the I is the first step of your identity. Now, here is where a lot of us find conflict with each other, is because most of us step into the second step of identity with forgetting that each of us have a different identity. We each have a different first step. Each of us have different stories. We've all seen something separate. We've all had toxic relationships, or some of us have never experienced it before. Some of us love dogs, some of us love cats. Some people like this, some people like that. Some people are here ready for this, some people are ready for that. Everyone is stepping in to what they stand for, which is the second part of your identity, coming from a different place. And I gotta stop doing the two because the balloons just love us. Marine, hi. Ladies, the most powerful thing you will ever do next is when you can state all of your I's. From that is where you derive what you stand for. The truth is that each of us stand for something with conviction because of what we've seen. We don't gain a random reason to feel a certain way about something just because. It comes from our experience. So if Georgette says nope about running 26 miles, that's what she stands for. And who are we to tell her that she's wrong? Because for her, this is what she stands for. Oh, I'm so happy to see you too. Oh God, Lindy's here too. When we look at our identity in these three phases, the I am is, here is me, here's what I am, here's what I like, here's what I've seen, and here is this, and here is that, and I. And then we say, and because of who I am, I stand for ... Every leader needs conviction. If a leader is not walking around with conviction, they've skipped the first stage. Each of us I just read Lindy's thing. You're all right, girl. Each of us have seen things. We have felt things. We have experienced things. We know things that the rest of the world has never touched. So when we're convicted, it's coming from, or it should come from, a place of experience. But this is what the world needs from you. We want you to speak from your experience. We want to hear what you have to say. And we're in respect, if we respect the true identity, when you step into a room and I could feel something on you, it should be, and it will be, because you have seen something. So when I walk up to you and I can say, hey, what do you believe in? You can tell me. I believe that women deserve to have a lot more access to understanding and loving themselves. If I ask you why, you can go back to, well, it's because I ... We should never be representing someone else's story. That means we're not living in our world, we're living in someone else's. When you live from your world, it starts from knowing yourself. Now, when you have conviction, you speak with intention. What happens is people listen. Because truthfully, we're all looking for a truth. And whether someone says, oh, well, I haven't experienced that. If we were all operating this way, we would all be able to say, oh, well, that's okay. It's just because you haven't seen what I've seen. But let me share who I am and what I've seen. When we can get to a place of all standing for something that comes from our personal experience, we stop trying to feel the need to convince people who have never seen or experienced what we've experienced. What it ends up turning into is a simple share. But when there are people who need us, who need to know that what we've seen is it's possible to overcome, and that the reason you're standing for it is because you know it's possible to overcome, now we're talking. Now we've got powerful leadership happening, and we haven't even gotten to the best part, which is you walking in the third phase of your identity. Being able to vocalize where it is that you're going. There's a lot of people out there who are very convicted in their opinion and their experience, and I'm really admire people who can speak out. I really do. Sometimes I feel like there are people who speak out and I'm like, I heard you the first time. But the problem is a lot of people are only shouting what it is that they stand for, with no solution for where anyone can go next. The people who are effective at this are the ones who know the third phase of their identity, which is when I speak, I'm speaking with conviction because I know who I am, I've accepted that, and I've also developed what I stand for. As a result of what I stand for, because I'm also believe in solutions, I'm going to let you know about where it is that I'm going. There are a lot of people standing on soapboxes with megaphones saying, hey, I need you to listen here. And this is great. I look at them and I'm like, all right, you know something. But the problem is these people stay standing. What you want is you want to be able to walk into a room. Your presence speaks for you. People want to ask about your story. You know it. You share it. You speak for yourself. You speak up for yourself confidently. You share what your story is, and if you feel the need to express further because they've asked, you share what it is that you stand for as a result. The most aligned people that needed to hear your message, that needed to encounter you, are then going to ask a very particular question. Can you help me with something? As leaders, ladies, I don't know if you want this responsibility, but it could be someone who's ready to pay you, or it might be your child. When you're really convicted about who you are, you become so magnetic. You shine at the top of the mountain of embodiment, and people start asking questions. The ones you're meant for, the ones who ask, hey, how can I do that too? When people start to ask you how, what, when, where, when, why? When people start asking you questions about you and how it can relate to them, when you can say, this is where I'm going, it's the final piece of the puzzle. When you can say, I'm going to create a next level business. I'm going to start going live regularly on Facebook. I'm going to commit to my health and actually start training for those 26 miles. I'm going to eat clean because da 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 da. I'm going to create a process or a program for people to follow. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to get another job. I'm going to move my kids out of this house. I'm going. This is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going. The power in that is that you knowing who you are, you standing for what you stand for, and you deciding where you're going based off of the first two. Ladies, this is unbreakable. Not even you could talk yourself out of it. Not even you. Because you were the one who derived your solution based off of who you are and where it is that you stand. Ladies, what I want, yes, I am going. What I want for you is that when you think about yourself, I want you to think that there is something about you that everybody notices. I don't care if you're wearing a hoodie. I don't care if you don't look cute. We can feel it. When you really own it, we can feel it. But if you're shrunken away and you're trying to keep your presence tight to you because you're not ready to share it with others, your identity is necessary. Dialing it in is going to be so helpful for you. Now, I always want to remind you guys that the work that we're talking about affects other people, but the reason we're doing it is for you. Not a minute of this lifetime should you be hiding from the world. Not a minute of it. The world is not that powerful. You should never let it be that powerful. Your world is powerful. You. If you're the type of person that says, I don't talk before 10 a.m., it shouldn't be you saying this before you get your coffee. It should be, I'm not talking right now. I don't talk right now. I'll talk to you when I'm ready. This is what it looks like to stand in your identity. When you know who you are, you're not trying to hide it. You can own it. You can say no, and you can definitely say yes. The authority that you get to walk around with is healthy for you. You get to experience more. You get to taste more. You get to move at your own pace. You get to love more. You get to feel more. You. And then other people, if you want them to, will get to have a little bit more from you. Okay? So, ladies, I am so grateful that you were here today. I'm so grateful that you were here today. I wanted to read some comments. If you guys have anything that you want to share down below as we're wrapping things up. Guys, this is one piece to like a 15-part puzzle. So I just want to let you guys know, when I say I've had something planned for you, I've had something planned for you. Now, I haven't fully even gotten to the best part about world building, but we're going to be doing that in a couple of weeks. So all of this work that we've been doing up until now are the precursors to carry in your mind so that you can be prepared to fully walk in your power as you begin to explore who you want to be on this earth, right? So if you already have a strong sense of identity, I would still encourage you to come to the world building, the 3 days of world building, which we're going to do in a few weeks. The reason being is because it's just too fun, right? It's like if you knew your identity in a bullet point list, what we're going to be doing in 3 days of world building is to paint a picture. We're going to make it colorful. We're going to make it fun. You're going to have a world built for yourself that is so much different. And my favorite part is that it's almost like a mood board, okay? My intention is that we bring clarity to your internal world to such a degree that when the outside world's getting all rocky, you can close your eyes, see who you are, and then begin to feed that out to the world. If the world feels rocky for you, what's happening is you are not leaked out onto the earth yet. You deserve to make a space on this planet for you. And then what's so beautiful about us as humans is that when I'm authentically me, you guys see my branding. If you saw my house, it matches my branding. All of that came from my internal world. So when we have this understanding of who we are, what we like, what our internal culture is, what all of these bits, when we have a clarity on that, what happens is we start noticing that those colors start finding our space. The way we speak starts coming out a little bit different. The way we walk, the things that we expect, the ways that we make commitments, all of these change. In my world, I only go basically out of my home, trying to not say the whole thing. I'll wait. But the way I function in my world is the thing that I'm trying to replicate here in this world. And it's so much easier for me here. So this is how it's going to work. And I'll share it with you in a couple of weeks. So with that being said, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Anything that's coming up for you, please share. I'm going to catch up. So Gloria says, yes, I'm exploring and embracing aspects of myself in a way that fosters self-acceptance and compassion. That's what we talked about. Lisa says, when my dad passed, I wrote down every possible thing I could remember about him, everything he liked, did, and who he was. Did the same for my mom, every single thing I could think about them. Like, this is the essence of each of your parents. It's like you want to just like lick it. You want to eat it up because their whole little bits of their identity are all woven in to create this human. And their presence made an impression on your life. Good times and bad times. We really only see the stuff when we're gone. People will really only see this in us when we're gone. But that's only true when we're not connected for us to be able to experience how other people experience us. Hopefully that makes sense. So what we want to do is we don't want to miss out on our own lives. That's what I felt like most of my life. Other people told me I was great. And I was like, well, you know, I know what you mean, but I didn't feel it. When I see myself and I know my story and I know what I stand for and I know where I'm going and I know my world, I get what people are saying now. And it's like I knew it deep down, but I couldn't let myself own it. And I don't want to leave this planet still feeling insecure and unconnected with what everybody else gets to gloriously experience. I want to feel me too. I want you to enjoy every drop of who you are. You guys are just amazing. And what you're going to start noticing is how many more people, I'm sure you already see it, how many more people you just kind of want to shake them and say, don't you see? We don't want to be those people to miss out on the essence of who we are. All right. I think I got all those. Yeah, Joanne says you're special and kind to share this with us. I love you. I love you so much. So ladies, I'm saying a lot without saying everything. So bear with me. If you're still new to this whole conversation, again, I highly recommend you going back and watching our previous month. And it's been about a month and a half now. Every piece is so different, but they all fit together. So next week, we're going to be diving in on the same level around the health component. The idea is at the end of December, you feel really clean around the concept of what your presence is. Okay. I want you guys to feel like literally when you walk into a room, I want you to know I can affect the atmosphere here. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want you to know that you can walk into a room and affect the atmosphere. When you do that, you become influential. When you're around a lot of people who are atmosphere changers, you're going to really, really be in for a treat. So the idea is more of us feel this way. More of us are empowered. We know when to hear someone's story just for the sake of hearing their story. And then we also know that, wait, this person here that's hearing my story, I'm meant to be a vision for them or a support for them. So it helps you delegate what is for you and what is not for you when you know yourself. So ladies, with that being said, is there anything else? Okay. So I will be posting more about this masterclass. I'll be posting more about the masterclass. Like I said, in the meantime, please share what it is that comes to you. Tell me if you can feel yourself in rooms. I'm telling you, my story is I would shrink. I mean, so tight. Like if my aura was just naturally here, it would be here. Because I was just so afraid of people and what they would think and am I enough and all. It's just, I didn't know what I offered. And everyone always said something so positive to me. But I was just like, no, but you don't know. We want to get rid of that, right? So Santandra says, it feels so great being me. I finally found me. A part of me is finally beginning as another part of me is no longer needed, and I'm proud of me. That. Your story is always evolving, and our identity follows the same three pieces, the 3 steps. So we're going to talk more in depth about that in a few months, but for right now, I just wanted to intro this conversation to you. So go feel yourself. See where you shrink, see where you expand, see if you can feel what you bring to a room. It took me a long time, last thing I'll share. It took me a long time to realize that what I brought to a room is actually very quiet. It's a very, very quiet presence, but it's very magnetic. It's very magnetic. And so in not being able to accept that for a very long time, although other people mostly experienced it when they actually heard what I had to say, because when I'd opened my mouth, I don't think the confidence was as there as they would have expected. It always threw people for a loop. They were like, wait, how do you not see this? And how are you? And I spent more time trying to defend what I'm not or what I am. And I could have been a lot further in those relationships. So this is where I want you guys to see if you can tell. Maybe there are parts of your identity where it's very expanded and easy, and there's other parts where it's like maybe you're very good at being loud and excitable, but you're not so strong in showing your intelligence and what it is that you really have to say for solutions in rooms, right? So there's so many ways that this can play out, but we'll keep this conversation. You get nervous in certain spaces. So this is what we talked about this last week, Santandra. I would love for you to notice which spaces do you shrink and which spaces do you stay really big. And that's going to give you a big clue, big clue to your identity. Identity takes a minute if you've never explored it before. So start with the I am, the way I did. I always have to start with my name. I am Samantha Nicole Bell. I live in Dallas, Texas. It's like I'm reading my driver's license. And as I start just describing the very obvious things, like other things that I haven't thought about, stories that I haven't remembered in a while start coming out. And I can feel like the energy in my body starts shifting. This is what I want for you. I want you to feel the joy of who you are. Yeah. All right, ladies. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to keep going on this journey together. So I love you so much. Here's to becoming more active and attractive. And I'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye.